today we're testing NotebookLM, which has changed a lot. I'm going to be doing, it's an initial exploratory testing, okay? So I'm going to be doing one session now of like roughly 20-25 minutes, and I will be doing a few more, maybe even off stream, and try to do a bit of a proper review, then to post as well on X and whatnot. I'm fed up and very deceived with Brilliant.org. I am preparing a more in-depth review, but I'm very sad of the direction that Brilliant.org actually even, took over the past years. And I think a lot of people share my sentiment. Let me just post this. So, but now we're testing NotebookLM. Okay, so we're testing NotebookLM. Okay, so it has, I think they have changed a lot. And actually now it turns out you can actually pay, and you can use this in business, education, and enterprise. It would be very cool to understand how people really use these. If I do get the app, what does it have? What happens? Oh, so there's an actual app. We're gonna get the app. Of course, we're gonna get the app. We need to have the app experience, and I'll review the app experience later. That makes a lot of sense. Actually, it makes sense. And what are the plans? So what do we have here? We're going to try it out, and then we'll see. Essentially, if you get into paid plans, what do you have? 2x more generations. Okay, so you just get more usage. I don't think you get anything special, because new features and sources and stuff. Okay, you get more power. It's just more beefed up, but it's not like you have something special that you can't do otherwise. So let's just try. This has changed a lot. It used to be, and I did a few things. I did a few research on like the AfD political party in Germany. I did a few tests, but these were tests from like a long time ago, actually. So okay, so there's some featured notebooks. Your ultimate guide to home buying, introduction to NotebookLM. Let's check one of these featured notebooks. Okay, so we have sources, then we have a chat, and then we have studio, which we can blend. There's a lot of options in here. Assistente. What is this? These studio outputs give an in-depth visual and audio overview of the notebook topics. AI notebook. Oh, so here there is sort of like a visual like this. Okay, we have, what is that, a slide deck or something? Okay, it's a slide deck. Interesting as well. Based on 27 sources, you actually have a slide deck that is generated explaining, understand chat, the output library, build your knowledge base, discover sources with research agents, understand and reason. Okay, so these like right off the bat already gives off like much more the vibes of a workspace, which I like a lot more for learning. It's like this concept of the freaking Duolingo style widgets just makes me so angry. It's okay. It's not an ugly concept, but it's not a bad concept, but it's very narrow, and it just ultimately, I don't think it brings that much value. Especially that is also sort of given to you, right? And I think a lot of the advantages of learning, or a lot of the techniques and tools that make learning easier, smoother, and better, is when you do stuff on your own, right? When you're building stuff on your own. But okay, account and management. Yeah, that's maybe a little too meta, actually. No, let's do, see also, there's a bunch of feature notebooks. Let's create a notebook. The whole thing though is a little, I think a little different, right? Because when you create a notebook, you kind of have to create audio and video overviews from your documents. So it is very much based on sort of like you have to create a knowledge base, right? Search the web for new sources. You can also search the web. What if I just say, you know, advanced algebra, right? It's okay, so it's looking for sources, for resources here. So we have, okay, so I can delete or I can import. So it's importing all what is found. Advanced algebra, blah, 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 graduate texts. All right. And what now? So it's loading. I'm gonna title this notebook Advanced Algebra, right? You can create an image, I guess. Okay, it seems, I mean, this is definitely, I think this is definitely more, you know what? Because I think this is definitely a bit more focused on like very specific topics, right? But it's okay. Let's see. Here we have studio. We have audio overview. We have a slide deck. We have video overview. We have a mind map, reports, flashcards, data table, infographic. Can we just click one of the, ask a question or create something? Okay. Create me a study plan to become an advanced algebra master in just a couple weeks. Okay, that's maybe, that might not be the right type of resources for what I want to do, but let's see. Maybe it's not the exact use case this is meant for, right? Okay, so now it's spitting out here a plan. Days 1 and 2, group symmetry and actions. Focus, define the core axioms of a group and move quickly into symmetry. Key concepts. Day 3, 4. I mean, that's the standard output you would get. Are these... Okay, so these are then basically pointers at, I think, some of the material that I have here. Can I can save to node. Okay, that's interesting. You can save the outputs as nodes. This is useful. But it's pretty much, I don't know what to do right now, right? Okay, let's, you know, you could start basically by just taking a look at this plan and can you prep material like audio and slides for the content that should go for day 1 and 2, maybe, right? So again, I guess just follow a plan, right? It prepare the plan, follow a plan, I guess. Okay, so it's generating a deck. And but you're pretty much on your own, right? Which is good, but you're pretty much on your own. and it's also very resources based. I think this is very good for like, I think something that fits these very well is probably the concept of the things like what's it called, like studying a code base. You know what I mean? Like a code base where, like Carpathy's code base, for example. So you put that as a resource, and then essentially you kind of have, you build yourself a structure to study these. You ask chat to basically prepare everything for you. And what we'll check next, by the way, will be the Wandering app, because the Wandering app was done by a guy who actually is an ex NotebookLM team member. Foundations group theory, defining the structure, subgroups and language theorem, symmetry group. Okay, it's still generating these based on the sources, but it's also always based on the sources. Let's come back in a few minutes. What's the best way for you to prep exercises and practice material for these 2 days? So essentially you have, what this is take a corpus of references and turn it into a collection of assets that are good for learning and digging into one specific topic, right? So you have an audio overview, you can have a video overview, a tailored quiz. Okay, yeah, so you can create the quiz, that's true. Okay, so yeah, generate the quiz and flashcards for day 1 and 2. So quiz and flashcards are specifically kind of designed obviously for this stuff, and I also would like a video. I think I'll have to come back here in a second. Okay, so you have different styles. That's nice. Explainer, a structured comprehensive overview that connects the dots within the sources. But I just want a video, and also expanding tool scope. Okay, maybe it just might be too much at once. While it's working on these, I can go maybe take a look at the Wandering app in the meantime. See if this, if actually this loads. It's, I think they're called Wandering app. Wandering app. Yeah, exactly. These are the guys. So I hate it. I just hate that you call. I hate Duolingo, boys. I hate Duolingo. Let's follow them actually. I hate Duolingo. When is the last update they made? New Wandering, chat with your whole course. That's gonna. So it's a lifesaver. So you see, so it's built by this guy. Let's follow him as well. So he is actually a former NotebookLM. So that's why I think, and let's see what he's writing about. I think this could be promising, because maybe he was just fed up with NotebookLM, as in like that, you know, and kind of went and created something that is more like a. But again, what's wait a second. Excalidraw. Maybe I still have it from yesterday. Do I still have this? Because I was making. No. You guys tell me. You guys tell me. It's the evolution. Koji. So look at the Koji brilliant.org. Oh boy. And then the master of all things, duo fucking lingo bird. Like, be more original, please. This is just be original. It doesn't. You don't have to have a fancy icon, but like, it's literally like the fucking green with the eye, the two eyes. There's the green from the bird, and then here's like a star. And anyway, so this is his what, Substack or something? Yeah. Interesting. Okay, anyway. So this is Duolingo for anything. Bite-sized lessons, structured roadmaps, visuals and exercises personalized to you. And there's an app, and then you can also do the course here, visuals and diagrams. But okay, let's just go back to, like, did it finish? Okay, so we've got the quiz, we've got the flashcards, the slide deck and the audio are being prepared, and I'm gonna ask it, can you create a video for day 1 and a video for day 2, please? But I mean, it's a different concept, right? You're pretty much kind of on your own. There's like no guidance at all beyond just the chat, and you can ask it, I guess, hey, how can I learn these, right? Which is okay. I think that's not bad necessarily. It's actually good because it leaves the door open to different ways of doing it, right? To different ways of approaching a topic. Not everything kind of has to have or fit a certain structure or picture, right? So here we have the group quiz based on 10 sources. Okay, so you have a quiz and there's a hint. Okay. Suppose G is a finite group and H is smaller or equal than G according to Lagrange theorem. If A belongs to G, which of the following must be true regarding the order of the element A? Hint. Consider the relationship between the subgroup generated by an element and the parent group. Yeah. It would be cool if you could have pointers too. Like, what else can you do with this? You can delete, you can go full screen. It would be good if you would have, okay, delete, if you could kind of have also pointers on, like, you know, that kind of take you to places where you can learn about these, so to say, right? Okay, so now we have these, and we have the flashcards. Flashcards are, okay, so go contact. What 4 axioms must a non-empty set G and a binary operation satisfy to be considered a group? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to get it. I wanted to flip. Closure, associativity, the existence of a unique identity element, and the existence of an inverse for everyone. Okay, the explain is nice. So you have an explain. Yeah, okay, that's nice. This is nice. Yeah, it's. I think it's interesting. I mean, the concept is this, right? I don't know. I to be honest, I don't know how much more deeper I want to. I want to dig into this because it's not so much of a guiding experience, right? So I would basically, what I could do is I could really then dive into day 1 foundations, day 2 foundations, try to learn off of these really seriously somehow. I want to see the audio and the video overviews that it makes, and then a quiz. Can you give me very advanced exercises for the material of day 1? I guess it's just basically a way to navigate like a piece. Like, you don't know how to learn something, you can just search for it. It's a good starting point. You kind of navigate it directly via the chat, and you curate and create assets with AI that help you kind of summarize and understand things, right? Um, and it's quite versatile because it could be anything. It could be market research that you're doing. It could be that you're preparing for an exam. It could be something like this, like advanced algebra. It could be something that is more of a mixture. It's completely open. Maybe you want to dig into some scientific papers, right? I can see how that works well like this. Like it's very, very much based on the assets and the context, sort of the knowledge base that you want to kind of like work on. So you might as well just say, look, these are like 100 research items. Maybe you're doing like a review, a systematic review or something, right? And you just pull up research papers on a topic and ask it to build a data table for you, um, to go through the key elements, to learn the key facts of each paper and stuff like this. So from that perspective, I mean, this does feel a bit more like a learning environment, right? Or it feels more like something that you can kind of, yeah, basically play with and really adapt to how deep you want to go to certain things. So no, that's pretty good. uh this is to me way, way, way better than anything else that we've seen. I mean, any of the brilliant.org stuff, because essentially NotebookLM does not force you, it does not tell you what to read. It does not force you down into a specific learning path or learning material. It's more like you give it something and you tell it, just help me kind of grok through these, right? Help me go through all this stuff. The audio is done. Let's play. Oh, sorry, I have this. I have the speakers connected, the headset connected. Let me close Bluetooth.
Math problems out there. What if I told you that there are math problems out there that are like fundamentally impossible to solve? And not because we aren't smart enough or because our computers aren't fast enough, but because the underlying geometric shape of the equation mathematically forbids an answer.
I mean, it is a terrifying thought for anyone who, grew up thinking math was just about following a recipe to find the right answer.
Right.
But that realization is really the threshold you cross when you leave standard math behind.
So, welcome to the deep dive. Usually, when we talk about algebra, there is this expectation of precision. Like, you get an equation, you isolate the variables, and eventually, you circle your answer at the bottom of the
You
page.
solve for X.
Exactly. You solve for X. But today, we're taking a massive stack of advanced mathematics concepts. We're talking Galois theory, abstract algebra, representation theory, and we're acting as your shortcut to the absolute bleeding edge of structural math.
It's a lot of dense material for sure.
It is. But our mission is to translate some of these incredibly dense equations into clear, intuitive insights about how the universe actually organizes itself.
Wow.
Because modern abstract algebra, well, it isn't about finding a hidden number at all.
No, not
So the mathematical language.
I like it. It's actually quite interesting. It's an interesting way to kind of warm yourself up into it, right? I have to wrap it up now. We will come back. I'll come back to this. I need to think about. I need to do some. I need to sleep on it, and I need to kind of look at the videos that are being generated. I like the idea. I like the idea because it's very much focused on this kind of concept that you have a corpus of data, you can chat on it, like around it, and you can build studying assets. You can build assets that help you look at it from a video perspective, from an audio perspective, from different kind of areas, right? And I'm even thinking, you're probably like, can you build me an interactive simulation using Python that helps me understand group theory and its main axioms. I don't know, right? I think because that's just a freestyle chat, it should be able to do that, right? Now, probably the workspace doesn't have a place to actually run this simulation, but this could actually be a very, very good way or a very good addition to the tool. Let's see if it does anything. Share. So you can share these. You can have settings. License device. Upgrade to Pro. Okay, so it outputs the code. It's not very code friendly. I can see that. It's not very code friendly, but it's okay. They're probably working on this. This will be an interesting thing, actually. Wrapping it up here. See you guys tomorrow.